Hey, Jane. Are you there? Because you couldn't tell with you hiding yourself away from everyone. Now stop this nonsense and come out so that I can see you. After all, it's been 10 years since I last got a good look at you. Are you really just going to keep your mother-in-law waiting all day just to see her daughter-in-law?
Hello there, Kelly. It's nice to hear from you. To be honest, I didn't think that I would get any kind of message from you at all. But I can't believe it's already been 10 years. It really is hard to wrap my head around.
Well, that's what I should be saying. Now just how much longer are you going to be hiding from me, huh? All you do is make up excuses like being too busy with work to ever meet anyone. But I have had enough of this. I want you to come out and greet me to my face right this instant.
I'm really sorry, Kelly. You're absolutely right that we haven't seen each other in a long time. But I think the truth of the matter is that you don't want to see me either, so I don't get why you're pushing like this.
What in the world are you talking about? When did I say that I don't want to see you? I don't ever remember saying anything like that in the slightest. Unless you're talking about way back then. But that was years ago, and things have changed now, Jane. You really shouldn't be holding a grudge like that.
No, I'm not talking about back then at all, actually.
Oh, I know all about why you're acting like this. My son John has told me all about what's got you this way. It's all because you hate me. You hate your mother-in-law, and that's why you do all you can to avoid seeing her. That's what you've been doing for the past 10 years.
Wait, Kelly, no. I don't know why you think that, but it's not because I hate you at all. I have actually offered to go and try and see you, but it's always John who tells me not to go.
That can't be right. Don't you start telling lies about my son. How dare you try and pin this all on my poor little boy? You really are exactly like he tells me you are.
I'm not sure what you mean by that. What kind of person does your son tell you that I am? Has John been telling you things about me?
Oh, you bet that he has. And there isn't a single secret of yours that I don't know. He's told me everything. For instance, I know that you're a good cook and that's about it. That's why I want you to show your face to me, so I can finally smack some sense into it for my son's sake.
Wait a second. Is that really what John has said to you? Because I really don't think that's true at all. I think I'm a terrible cook, but I always thought I made up for it by handling all the chores at home. But I know that John and I have our problems. I really am trying to make this marriage work, though.
Well, it seems to me like you're hardly doing enough as it stands. Honestly, just how my son ended up with a woman like you, I'll never know. And to think that you have the gall to avoid me after all this time being married. You really are a rude and selfish woman. Do you know that?
Kelly, please. I really have tried to go and visit you now and then. But every time I've tried to go, it's John who tells me that you don't want to see me and that I'd just cause trouble. That's why eventually I stopped trying to go out to see you at all.
There you go again, trying to peddle that horrible lie about my son. Do you really think that you're going to turn me against him? I know that the real reason you're not making the effort to come and visit me is because you hate me, isn't it?
You don't actually think that, right? I promise you that I really have wanted to spend more time with you, Kelly.
Well, then what are you trying to say? Because John is always telling me that you don't come because you dislike me. That's why we're always getting into fights when you come over, and that's why you try and avoid me. You think it's just easier this way. But that's just further proof that you've hated me all along.
Please, Kelly, you have to listen to what I'm trying to tell you right now. I'm trying to tell you the truth. You've got this all wrong.
Okay, then. Why don't you bake me something and bring it? Maybe if you can do that and offer me something good as a peace offering, then I could forgive you. But it better make up for all 10 years that you haven't come to see me.
You want me to bake you something to make up for 10 years of not seeing each other? I really have no idea what I could even begin to throw together for that. I could try and do something really special, but it would take some time and I'd have things I'd need to do before getting to that.
Aha! There! You see? You basically just flat out said that I'm on the bottom of your priority list. There you go again, finding excuses to put off seeing me.
I really can't believe you. Here I am, giving you a second chance, and you just spit it back in my face. Kelly, please, I think you're jumping to conclusions way too fast. You know that I work full-time, don't you? And then on the next long break I already have some traveling scheduled, so... Oh, wow! You have travel plans? Well, please, don't let your lame old mother-in-law get in the way of your luxurious travel plans. I'd hate to bog down your busy schedule even further. Well, the plans aren't even that luxurious, if you must know, and the whole trip was John's plan anyways. He said that he wanted to express his gratitude to me for all that I do around the house to keep it running. He just does these kinds of things for me from time to time. I see. Well, isn't that nice that my son is so sweet to you? But I hope you know that you've done nothing to deserve a man like him. Perhaps. But either way, your gift is going to have to wait until after our trip. Maybe I'll just get you a really amazing souvenir instead. Well, whatever. If you're saying that my son planned this trip for the two of you, then I guess I can't complain about it. Just don't forget about me! Of course not, Kelly, and thank you so much for understanding.
Hey there, Jane. It's been a while since you and I have last talked. It's Erin. Do you remember me? We used to go to school together. My last name is Cunningham.
Wait a second. Erin Cunningham? Oh, of course I remember you! Oh, wow, it really has been forever since you and I last talked. I'm surprised that you even have my number. But is everything okay? To what do I owe you the honor of reaching out like this?
Yeah, I really am sorry to reach out to you out of the blue like this. But the thing is, I had something I wanted to tell you, and so, well, here I am.
You had something you wanted to tell me? Well, what could this be about, I wonder?
I know this is going to sound weird at first, but just please hear me out, okay? The first thing I need to know is, how are things between you and your husband these days?
You want to know how things are going between my husband and I? Well, I don't know if I can say that things are going great, but they're not bad either. But what would make you even want to ask something like that?
Well, look, I get that it might not be my place to get into this, but your husband, John, I think he might be seeing someone else, and I think it's in your best interest for the two of you to break up.
Wait, what? What are you saying? I don't understand. Why are you talking about my husband like this?
I know that this must be a huge surprise for you right now, and again, I'm sorry to have to break the news like this, but I guess that my husband and your husband actually know each other, and he is where I heard this story from. So that's why I was checking to make sure things were okay with you.
Oh, your husband? I hadn't even heard that you were married, and I certainly had no idea that your husband and my husband were friends. Do you have any idea where the two of them would have met?
Yeah, they actually work at the same place and go out drinking with each other now and then, apparently.
I see. Well, I had no idea that his friend was married to one of my old friends. But how did you even figure out that John was my husband to begin with? Because I'm still not sure exactly who your husband would be.
Well, I just figured he was your husband because you updated your relationship status on your socials to say that you were married, remember?
All right. I suppose I did do that, didn't I? Oh, but that was so long ago that I completely forgot, really. In fact, I think most of the photos of us that I've uploaded are from before we were even married.
Well, anyways, my husband showed me some pictures that he had taken, and I realized it was the same guy. I realized that my husband's drinking buddy from work was your husband this whole time.
I see. Well, you have a really sharp eye, I'll give you that much. But why even come to me about this?
What do you mean? How could I not? You're an old friend of mine. I wasn't going to just let your husband get away with sleeping around on you when I knew that I had a means to contact you. Of course, I feel awful to be the one to break the news to you like this. I know it can't be easy to swallow all that I'm saying to you.
It really isn't easy at all. And I guess I was just surprised to hear from you since it's been so long. But anyways, thank you for coming to me with this. I really do appreciate it, Erin.
Yes, of course. I
I just can't believe that your husband would betray your trust like this. You really should just kick his butt to the curb and leave him right away. Well, as tempting as that sounds, John and I have a son together, so getting a divorce isn't quite that simple. But if he really is cheating on me with someone else, then that might make this whole process easier. Either way, I'll just have to talk this out with John and we'll figure out what to do next. Wait, what? You're going to talk to him about this? Oh, I really don't think that you should do that. Wait, what? But why not? I mean, it sounds to me like my husband is seeing someone behind my back. I really feel like I should confront him about this. Ask him why he's doing this and then talk out the details of the divorce. Well, hold on a second. Yes, your husband seems to have a girl on the side, but I think that they're talking about getting married, too. So if you divorce him, then you might be giving your husband exactly what he wants by doing so. Wow, you sure seem to know an awful lot about my husband's situation. Did you really hear all of this from your husband? I don't know anything. I'm only telling you what I heard through my husband, okay? I just think you should think this through very carefully. I see. Well, I appreciate your input, but at the end of the day, this is going to be settled between John and I. Wait, please, Jane. Don't tell John a single thing about this at all. I mean, if you tell him how you found out about this, you'll make your husband hate mine. And I would really hate to be the reason why you and John split up and why my husband lost such a close friend. Well, I understand that, but it sounds to me like your husband has already broken my husband's trust by telling you this. But it's not like I can blame him. But now I just don't know what to do at all about this. Well, I'll pass along any new information that I happen to hear about this, okay? But just tell your husband about what I've told you. If you really want to divorce him, that's fine, but just think of another reason as to why you'd want to. And whatever choice you make about this, I really think that you should hurry up and do it quickly. Well, again, I appreciate your input, but this is something I'm going to have to think of how to handle. But I do appreciate you willing to pass along more information, and I'll take what you said under advisement. Jane! You really are such a horrible mother. Do you realize this? I mean, really. The least you could do is send some money to me to help take care of your son. Honestly, do you think I run some kind of charity house or something like that? I'm keeping tabs of all the money I've spent on food. Hello, Kelly. I'm really sorry, but I don't quite understand what you're talking about right now. Don't you play stupid with me. You know what I'm talking about. Don't you dare try and get out of your responsibilities here. You have been traveling around for the past month while you've left your son here with me so I can look after him. Who in the world leaves their child alone for that length of time, huh? Honestly, why hasn't my son divorced you yet? I'm sorry, but I really don't know what you're talking about now. Are you saying that you've been with Harry for the past month? Because he's right here sitting next to me. He even went with us to our last trip together, so I haven't left him alone at all. Wait, what? Hold on a second. You do only have one son, isn't that right? Yes, I do only have one son. That's exactly why I'm so confused as to what you could be talking about. But then, who in the world is this child that I've been asked to watch? You're telling me that you've been watching a child for the past month because you thought it was Harry? Did John leave that child with you? Did he tell you that was Harry? Of course he did. John dropped your son off with me a month ago. Or at least I thought it was Harry, but now I have no idea who this kid is. Are you telling me that you really have no idea about any of this? Because it feels like some giant prank is being pulled on me and I'm not laughing. No, Kelly, I swear that I am just as confused about this as you are. But I'm telling you that I only have one son and he's sitting right here next to me right now. But that can't be right. This kid here looks so much like his dad. But if you have Harry, then this must mean that... I'm afraid that it appears so. It sounds to me like John has a secret child. What did he say when he dropped that boy off with you? Well, he told me that you were all going on your trip and that I had better not say a word about you leaving your son with me to anyone.
And then he patted the boy on the head and said that he was off to take you and him to the airport.
I see. Well, I really had no idea about any of this at all.
I know, but since you're all still away on your trip, then surely John must be there as well, right? Maybe you could talk to him about all this and clear this up.
Well, yes, he was going to come with us on this trip, but then a sudden business meeting came up and he said he couldn't make it. So I am on vacation right now, but it's only Harry and I here. I guess we both learned a lot about the kind of person that John really is, haven't we?
No! Don't say it like that! My son isn't a bad boy. There has to be some kind of mistake there. I'll call John and he'll clear this all up.
Well, if he really is on a business trip, then I don't think that John is going to be answering his phone. But now I wonder what he told you when he left.
He told me not to bother reaching out to either of you because he wanted to be able to enjoy his vacation without being reminded of the outside world.
I see. But then if he told you all that, why did you bother reaching out to me like this?
Well, it's because this little boy eats a ton of food. And across the time that he's been here, I've already gone through the money that John gave to me to buy food for him. So I just wanted to complain to you about this.
I see. But now you and I both realize that neither of us have any idea who this kid belongs to. But I'll be sure to visit you after we get back and look into this. In the meantime, you might want to ask that kid some questions about his family.
No, you don't have to come and visit at all. I will talk to this kid, however. I'm sure that he'll have a rational explanation for why John did what he did.
Yes, I'm sure John had a great reason for leaving behind his secret child at your house.
But this doesn't make any sense at all. In the past 10 years, this is the child that I always knew as Harry. John has left this boy with me so many times, but I always wondered why he acted so shy and awkward around me when I was his grandma.
Yeah, well, it sounds like there's a lot that's gone on with John that we don't know about. But if John has really been leaving this kid with you for over 10 years, then we still need to figure out who the mom is.
Okay, then I'll try and talk to this boy, and I'm sure that he'll give us a good answer that will solve everything.
Right, well, hopefully it's not too much of a process for you.
Actually, I literally just asked what his mom's name was, and he said it was Aaron.
Aaron. Huh. I really should have figured that.
Do you think you know this person? Because if you do, then this is all your fault.
Oh, I know this person. Erin is an old classmate of mine. She looks pretty innocent from the outside. But she had quite the reputation in school for stealing other girls' boyfriends like it was nothing.
I see. So then you're saying that you had your husband stolen away by this girl?
It seems like it. In fact, now that you say that, in home ec, Erin was always good at cooking, but terrible at everything else. That's why I was surprised when you said that John said all I could do was cook. If he was talking about being with a woman who can cook, then it certainly wasn't me. And it probably was Erin.
Wow. You sure are analyzing your husband getting stolen from you with such coolness. But still, I think it's hilarious that some old friend of yours ended up stealing your husband from you.
Well, it was only a matter of time before she could have him anyways. I was thinking of divorcing your son. Which I'm sure makes you all the happier to hear.
Oh, you have no idea what amazing news that is to hear. But yes, you two should get a divorce. Then you can finally leave my poor son alone.
I can understand why you'd want to get rid of me, but I should warn you that Erin is a real piece of work.
What is that supposed to mean? What's wrong with her?
Well, for starters, you already know that the only thing she can do is cook. But you should also know that she is very fickle and leave men on a whim. But as long as John is making a good salary, I'm sure she'll stay to leech off of him.
Well, who cares? At least it'll be better than having to deal with you leeching off my son instead.
Okay, have it your way. But don't say that I didn't warn you. You might also want to know that I've actually hired a PI to look into the affair between John and Erin. I wanted him to gather evidence that I could use against the two of them during the divorce that I could sue them for the affair. Anyways, enjoy life with your son, who has lied to you for the past 10 years, and his secret family. I'm sure you'll all have lots of fun getting along together. After that, I got the completed report from my PI, who tracked down as much evidence as he could on John and Erin's 10-year affair with each other. They were so happy to find out they could finally be together. But after they heard how much they were being sued for, their smiles didn't last long. I took the money that I got from the two of them and decided to move to a new city and start a new life with my son. We moved a reasonable distance from where my parents live, and they come over quite often to take care of Harry. Him and I have even started going to a cooking class together so that I can improve my skills in the kitchen. After a huge screw-up at his work, I heard that John was demoted and given a rather large pay cut. I heard that things between John and Erin didn't go so smoothly after that, and that shouting can be heard coming from the house where Kelly, Erin, and John live and struggle to keep with their bills and debt.